What if I told you there is a hidden command you can activate today that turns every family bond into a doorway for your soul's evolution without forcing anyone to change, without needing to win any argument, and without waiting years for healing? What if the very relationships that hurt, irritate, or confuse you could begin in the next 24 hours to reveal themselves as sacred lessons lovingly arranged for your growth? This is not magic, nor an empty promise. It is spiritual science applied to the most intimate arena of your life. As Paramahansa Yogananda, I have always taught that family life is the first school of the soul, the divine classroom where human love is refined into God's love. If you are ready to see your family through the eyes of the soul, affirm inwardly now, I unite with the divine and my reality transforms, and feel how, even in this moment, a new perception begins to awaken within you. Family life, for most people, is both the greatest source of joy and the greatest source of pain. You may know the warmth of affection and support and at the same time carry wounds of misunderstanding, criticism, or rejection. Many, seeing only the surface, believe that family is a prison of karma, something to endure rather than a path to liberation. But ask yourself, what if every soul in your family, including the most difficult ones, is part of a precise divine design created to help you expand your heart? What if those who challenge you most are not enemies, but advanced tutors of your own evolution? When you remain on the level of personality, you see only conflict and difference. When you rise to the level of soul, you begin to see patterns of learning, opportunities for forgiveness, and invitations to unconditional love. From my earliest years in India, I felt this paradox deep love for my parents and siblings, and at the same time the call of God pulling me inward. I often asked the divine, why this family? Why these specific souls? Through meditation and inner revelation, I came to know that no soul is born into a family by accident. Before incarnation, guided by divine wisdom, each soul chooses the conditions, the parents, and even many of the key challenges that will best stimulate its growth. Some souls are drawn together by harmonious past actions, others by debts and unfinished lessons. Thus, family becomes a spiritual laboratory. You enter with a certain mixture of love, fear, attachment, and ego, and through the alchemy of daily contact, something finer can emerge if you are willing to learn. Let us look first at parents. Whether your parents were kind or harsh, present or absent, encouraging or critical, each played a karmic role in your story. If they loved you well, you learned trust, safety, and gratitude. If they failed you, you were given a difficult but profound opportunity to discover inner strength, self-reliance, and eventually the liberating power of forgiveness. The soul uses both honey and fire to grow. You do not need to approve of harmful behavior to recognize the lesson it brought to your heart. Ask yourself, what qualities did my parents force me to develop? Courage, patience, resilience, compassion? When you shift from how could they to what did my soul learn through this, your inner narrative changes from victimhood to mastery. The outer facts remain the same, but the meaning becomes redemptive. Now consider your role as child, sibling, partner, or parent. You too are an instrument in other souls' evolution. When you listen with presence, when you choose patience instead of anger, when you apologize with sincerity, you are not simply being nice, you are actively lifting the vibration of the entire karmic field you share. Family karma is not a fixed sentence. It is a living energy that responds to every thought, word, and action. You may not control what others do, but you always command how you respond. In this command lies your freedom. Declare inwardly, I am not a prisoner of my family karma. I am a conscious soul using these bonds as a path to God. This declaration begins to reprogram the subconscious, turning automatic reactions into conscious choices. Why is family such an intense school? Because there, masks fall away. With strangers or colleagues, you can pretend, you can hide your irritations, you can play roles. At home, the ego feels safe enough to reveal itself, its demands, its fears, its need to be right. Thus, the very closeness you sometimes resent is the instrument that shows you where you still need to grow. If a family member's words pierce you, ask, what wound in me was touched? What belief about myself is being triggered? Do I define my worth by their opinion? Each painful interaction, examined in this way, becomes a mirror in which the soul sees its remaining shadows, not to despair, but to bring them into the light of awareness and healing. Yoga enters this picture as the supreme method of transforming potential into realization. Meditation is not an escape from family. It is how you bring God into your family life. Each morning, when you sit in stillness, when you focus your mind at the spiritual eye and calm the waves of thought, you are contacting your true identity as soul, calm, loving, expansive. The more deeply you taste this inner peace, the more you will carry it back into your relationships. Instead of meeting a sharp word with another sharp word, you will feel an inner pause, a small space in which you can choose. In that space lies your power. You may still need to speak firmly or set boundaries, but you will do so from clarity, not from blind reaction. This is what it means to live yoga in the home. To accelerate this process, use the sacred moment before sleep, the state of quietude when the gate to the subconscious stands open. In the last 60 seconds of your day, lie quietly and bring to mind the key interactions you had with your family. Without blaming or defending, simply observe. Where were you loving? Where were you reactive? Then gently declare, I release resentment. I bless my family. I am learning through every bond. I ask the divine to harmonize our hearts. Visualize your home filled with soft golden light, wrapping each person, including yourself, in peace. These images and declarations drop into the subconscious, like seeds into fertile soil. Over time, they sprout as new attitudes, softer tones of voice, more openness to understanding. Remember also that each family member is, at the deepest level, a soul on its own journey, not merely a role in your story. Your child is not only your child, your partner not only your partner. They are travelers of eternity with countless past lives and future paths. For a time, your lifelines intersect in this incarnation so that you may exchange lessons, love, and support. When you stop trying to own or control them and instead ask, how can I help this soul grow closer to its own divine nature? Your love purifies. Possessiveness gives way to reverence. Fear of loss gives way to trust in God's plan. Then family love becomes a reflection, however imperfect, of divine love. Conflicts will still arise. This is a planet of learning, not perfection. But the more you practice, the more each conflict becomes shorter, softer, and more revealing. The question is not, will my family stop challenging me? The real question is, will I start using each challenge as a chance to expand my consciousness? If you answer yes, then every argument, every misunderstanding, every difficult dinner conversation becomes like sandpaper smoothing a rough surface. The ego does not enjoy this, but the soul rejoices, for it knows what it is becoming. To bring this teaching fully into your life, I invite you to make 3 commitments. First, commit to daily inner practice, meditation, prayer, or silent reflection to anchor yourself in your soul identity before entering the stream of family interactions. Second, commit to one conscious response each day where you would normally react unconsciously, perhaps pausing before replying, choosing a kinder word, or silently blessing instead of condemning. Third, commit each night to using the last minute before sleep to forgive, to release, and to reaffirm your intention. My family is the school of my soul. I accept my lessons with courage and love. These 3 commitments, sustained over time, will transform the atmosphere of your home and the evolution of your own heart. In the end, when this life is done and your soul reviews its journey, it will see clearly what is often hidden now, that family was never a random arrangement of personalities, but a sacred web of souls woven together by God to teach you how to love as He loves, steadily, wisely, and without condition. Learn your lessons well, and your home will become, little by little, a small ashram, a place where God's presence is invited, felt, and shared. Then you will know from direct experience that every family tie, however humble or imperfect, is indeed an opportunity for spiritual evolution, and that by serving your family with love, you have been serving God Himself all along.